All right, y'all. I'm back. It's been a wild couple of months here at H&S, and I was running solo for a while, so I had to roast all weekend, every weekend, to keep up with everything that's going on. And just last week, I got some help on board for the summer, and so I am back, fingers crossed, to being able to make videos with a little more consistency. So much to talk about this month and covering the last couple of months going on. Let's start with the new roaster. We now have a Roost P3000 production roaster in the back, producing coffee on this table today. It is a pretty sweet machine. It was hard to keep a lid on what we were doing. We kind of hinted at it, but I really wanted to have the roaster in-house roasting coffee before we started to really talk about it. And it might warrant its own video. I have a lot of thoughts. I will certainly be talking about it a bit as we go through tasting here, about the differences between it and the IR12, which are vast and numerous. So that is pretty cool. We've been doing some Airworks collaborations, which have been really, really nice. We just dropped a Kenya exclusive with Airworks for their ultralight sub. That's been tasting really nice. We have another one coming up for July. So that's been pretty sweet. And we are also in MCL this month, the Mystery Coffee League. And we are presenting Engine de Caffeine for this month. So if you are a fan of mysterious coffees, math, rock, and microtonal flavor notes, be sure to check it out. Very, very cool project and a cool community and kind of a fun thing to participate in. I don't have much to say about it because I'm not allowed to, so we're not going to brew it today, but suffice to say, it's a pretty interesting coffee. Okay, well, I think that might cover it for now. Let's drink some coffee. Let's get into it. It's been a while. I'm thirsty. As long as I can remember how this goes. We are starting off the month with one of our most well-known producers. This is Ernedis Rodriguez. And this is a coffee we have bought for like 7 years. It's always the staple harvest of Ernedis. It's always a field blend. It's usually Couture dominant and always a wash process coffee. This year it's got a really interesting jasmine green tea finish on here, which is quite a bit different. Usually you can tell it's Ernedis's coffee. It's big and juicy and it's clean and all those hallmarks are here, but there is absolutely a very distinct jasmine note to this coffee. Really interesting. And similarly to the last Couture field blend that we dropped from La Victoria, we're starting with a plum note on this one, just a plummy coffee. Got that tartness to it. It's got that sweetness to it. And then we follow that up with star fruit, kind of a yellow tropical fruit, really bright and kind of juicy there. And then a very strong jasmine note on the finish. It's pretty unmistakable. Quite a departure. Really interesting. A little bit of dryness in the green tea on the finish. That could be a little bit of our brew method today. We'll come back and cover that. Ernedis Rodriguez, a very familiar face here at H&S. We won a Good Food Award with this coffee, I think back in like 2022, something like that, for the same lot. So really cool every year to be able to work with the same producer. Taste the differences and the similarities year over year. Ernedis is a huge staple here at H&S. And this is our bag slot number 1 for the Roaster's Choice. this month. Moving on to bag slot number 2, and another returning face here at H&S, but only for the second year in a row. This is Efrain Carhuallocllo. I know I butchered that name. So Efrain and his El Cerro plot. This is an extended ferment washed geisha. And this tastes so good today. It's really transformed from my first couple of days post-roast. This is a coffee roasted on the Roost P3000. Ernedis is roasted on the Diedrich IR12. So what's going on here? What's different with this cup? First of all, the notes on the bag, we've got orange creamsicle, honeysuckle, and rooibos. And I'm liking what I'm tasting in that today. It's, I think, a little more acidic, a little brighter than maybe what these notes sort of point towards. It was kind of a soft and subtle cup when I was putting the notes on and we were at that stage in the profiling of the coffee, but it's really opened up and is really starting to show a lot more brightness to it. Wow. Even so, I think orange creamsicle is such a cool note, really appropriate for this coffee. There's a creamy element to it that's so nice. And then packed with florals, sweet florals all the way through the rest of this cup. The rooibos, kind of a red tea. It's getting a little bit of an earthiness to it in the finish. I'd say some of that's still there, but it's a lot softer, a lot diminished from where it was just a week ago. Boy, this is so good. Okay, so the Roost P3000 is an air roaster. We're using hot air to apply energy into the bean to roast the bean, as opposed to the IR12, which is a drum roaster. We're using conductive heat to roast. In that case, we are using convective heat to roast with this new roaster. And a couple of key differences that are really leaping out to me with these first releases we're putting out is that, number one, cups are a lot more soluble. The coffees are much easier extracting for the roughly same taste profile that I was aiming for before with the IR12 releases. That's number one. Number two is that aromatics seem to be really ramped up with these coffees as well. So two really nice kind of attributes that are changing about our coffees that are coming off of the new roaster. Do they dictate a different approach to brewing? They might. I am not using the Gabby Standard on this coffee. It's the Gabby Gentle recipe, and that's been playing really well. Gabby Standard's still been great too, but being that it's such a higher extracting, more soluble coffee, that might change the way that you all approach these coffees. So those are two big things. And lastly, it's just so good. Boy, that's great. That orange creamsicle note, it's really nice. Very appropriate. Definitely have been hitting the notes on the bags lately. Felt very confident in those. Okay, there's our two coffees for the Roaster Choice subscription. We dropped a few others this month. We had some lab work stuff that came out. We've got an ultralight decaf. It might even still be available. It might be sold out, I'm not sure. The MCL coffee, but the one we're going to focus on to finish this tasting is, of course, one of the most important coffees in H&S history, and this is Abel Salinas. Abel Salinas of Finca Arashi fame. This is an ethereal cup this morning. Why is this such an important coffee in H&S lore? Well, this is a coffee that 2 harvests ago was one of the more defining coffees of this really big departure that I made in roast style. I had made the decision to really change up the way I approach coffee, the way I went through profiling coffee, tasting coffee, brewing coffee, and that radically changed the roast style. And this is one of the early examples of that for H&S, one of the very first early ultralight roast examples out there, period, at least as it was produced by a roaster to be marketed as an ultralight. And it was just so good. Such a beautiful coffee. And this year, it's very ethereal. This is technically, I guess, the second release on our Roost production roaster, the MCL being our first, and the Efrain being our third. But this was the first coffee that really threw me for kind of a loop. I wasn't sure if I was messing up the coffee. I wasn't sure if I was really underdeveloping the coffee. This has a super low weight loss on it and a pretty light color, a little bit lighter than previous years for sure. But it doesn't taste, I would say, traditionally underdeveloped. There's not like a super prominent grain note. There's not like a vegetal quality to this cup or anything like that. It's just very transparent, very clear. And similarly to the other cups this month, one really prominent note that's standing out to me on the tastings for this one, it is chamomile. So interesting. It has also opened up, similar to the Efrain. It started to pop a lot more. The acidity is starting to jump out. We've got white peach listed at the front of this. I think that's very appropriate. It's really showing that. And finishing with violet, purple flower, purple red flowers. Really nice florals to finish this one off. It's very soft. It's very clear and transparent and ethereal in the cup. Beautiful, sensational coffee. It's so cool to taste this one every year because similar to Ernedis, there's something familiar to it, but the departures, especially this year on all these coffees, have been really different from what I expected. That's so much fun. What a beauty. El Cerro's kind of tasting like the more developed coffee on the table today. Yeah, I would say so. Ernedis, I think, might be the coffee that requires the most rest. So this is coming off of the IR12. This is definitely feeling the most closed up today as I'm tasting it. It might be fresher than the others. 5 or 6 days off roast. These might be closer to 7 to 10 days off roast. Not a huge difference, but it's definitely tasting the lightest. Yeah, tasting the lightest. It's going to possibly need the most rest. Super clean, really nice clean cup, very juicy. Today I brewed it with the Gabby Standard recipe. That's feeling pretty good. I reckon that the Gabby Gentle might have been the better play today, just to see if I could boost the intensity up a little bit more. As it is, some of that nice plummy tartness that's listed on the bag is a little quieter. The jasmine finish is a lot stronger. That would make sense with this brew method, and I would expect the balance on that to change if I were to lower the extraction a little bit, push some of those notes together. El Cerro is tasting pretty developed, very sugary, a lot of sweetness to it. A clean cup, definitely. The orange creamsicle note, I think, is perfect for this coffee. This is a fun one. Might be my favorite of the Perus. This is tough. You know, I'm honeymoon phasing with the new roaster. Everything it's producing is so good, you know, and I'm just starting to learn how to manipulate profiles on this roaster and change things up. So while I felt like this was appropriately light, certainly hitting all the measurements, as I'm tasting it today on the Gabby Gentle recipe, it's tasting like it's got the most sugar development to it of the coffees on the table for sure. I'll be curious to know what you all think of this one. Really fun. It's got great intensity to it. Stellar coffee. Peru, it just had such a great season. Everyone's talking about it, about how good of a season it is and was, and the stuff that's coming in from H&S and lots of other roasters have all been really hitting really well. So hats off to Peru this year, and let's hope they can keep it up. And I'm definitely thinking, what can I do to get a little more involved in this next year and see what else I can find. Tell you that, because some really cool stuff coming out of Peru this year. And for Abel Salinas, ethereal, it's fleeting, it's subtle, it's so clear and transparent. There's zero body to this at all. It's just like such a clean window into very pure flavors, very little tactile mouthfeel to this one. It just kind of slides off the tongue. It's there and it's gone. Always looking forward to this one. So as it stands today, there might be enough of this coffee to wind up in the subscription next month, but I'm kind of thinking that we're going to get some more sales over the next couple of weeks, and then we won't have enough. So this coffee might be around for a while, seeing as how we bought enough for the subscription. It may not end up going in there. Yeah, I think Ernedis is actually the most closed up of the coffees, and that might be an IR12 thing. It might really need that extended rest period, and these roost profiles might open up faster, and that might give me something to think about when I start profiling the next coffees that are up for release. So, okay, that was a lot of fun. I gotta say, thank you all out there for the kind messages about how much you miss these tastings, how you look forward to them. I really do enjoy making them, but time was just not on my side for the last few months. So I do have more roasting to do after this. So let's get to it. Until next time, happy sipping.